2025 is actually coming to an end, and Happy New Year thing, and here we are, barely 3 seconds later. We should always form the habit of looking back at how we spent our year and eventually evaluate the things that we did, the decisions we took, the friends we made, and every other thing. Whatever you cannot measure, you cannot improve, and whatever you cannot there is really nothing called a better tomorrow. Okay, how much did I suck knowledge, right? How much did I pander for knowledge? What were the things that I did on YouTube? What were the things that I listened to? Do I understand the fundamental concepts of what I'm building, right? How many certifications have I done this year? Did I even attempt to do anyone, right? What are the things that are very, very much needed in my field? It's another episode, and 2025 is actually coming to an end, and you know, you're just wondering and saying, when did we even do the whole Happy New Year thing? And here we are, barely 3 seconds later. But within that 3 seconds, or within those 3 seconds, there is actually a lot that could have been done. A lot has been done. A lot has happened. We've survived a lot of things. We've survived Nigeria. If there is any other thing to talk about in this video, we've survived Nigeria. But actually, we should always form the habit of looking back at how we've spent our year and eventually evaluate the things that we did, the decisions we took, the friends we made, and every other thing. Because essentially what this channel is all about is about self-development, about strengthening our own lives, about bettering our own lives. So if you're not doing review of how you've done, then there is no point in seeking for improvement, because whatever you cannot measure, you cannot improve, and whatever you cannot improve, there is really nothing called a better tomorrow or something like that, right? And so today is just a guide to help you, or to guide you in reviewing how you spent your 2025, or how you are spending your 2025, because of course 2025 is not ended, and a lot of things can still happen in 2025, but truth be told, it's almost ending. In 3 weeks we're going to be done with 2025, and it's never going to cross our path again. So yeah, welcome to 2025 in review, right? And I always try to do this there are some tools I use, and just stay with me till the end. I'm going to link one of those tools, and then it can help you review your time. Some people have different ways of doing reviews. Some people take days off social media. I kind of think that's the best, right? Just don't text anybody. Nobody should disturb you. Tell somebody you're going to the mountain. Tell somebody you just want to go and do something, and just be with yourself. Live with yourself, right? And then you can be able to remember things if you do not journal. But if you journal, your journal will always help you remember, and then you can see some of the decisions you made, wise decisions, very stupid decisions, and it's allowed. Don't worry, everybody makes stupid decisions. Like anything you did, you're just going to evaluate it and say, see, this is what I did. So since this is actually a guide, I'll just be listing specific areas of your life that you can look out for, and then you can be able to improve or plan to improve as next year comes, as 2026 actually comes. I think the first area is personal life, and personal life is actually divided into some division, right? Your self-development is there, your family is there, the habits you chose, the decisions, and all of that. And under this, you can look at, okay, how much did I suck knowledge, right? How much did I pander for knowledge? What were the things that I did on YouTube? What were the things that I listened to on Spotify and all of that? And that's why Spotify Wrapped or YouTube Wrapped is very important, especially for me, because I tend to look at, okay, what are the podcasts I've listened to over the years, right? Why did I listen to those specific podcasts, right? And then the books I read too. How many books did I read? It's not in reading 50 books or reading 70 books. It's about how much did the books sink. For me, podcast, I probably get one podcast for like 3 days. I just listen to one podcast back to back, just to sink, just to allow the information to sink, and so that I can be able to even use the information for something worthwhile. The second point is your spirituality, right? I'm a Christian. You can be a Muslim, you can be a traditionalist, whatever. The point is, what was your relationship with God? I'm going to speak from a Christian perspective, right? What was your relationship with God? How much of God did you seek for? How much of intimacy did you crave? And how much of it did you actually do? Did you set time aside for you to even talk to the Lord? Get at it like between you and your God, or you just used God the past year to say that, I'm looking for a job now, God, I don't come, and then you get the job, you're off for the next big thing. What did how often did you read your Bible? How often did you pray? How often did you fast? I mean, if those things are part of the tenets of your Christian faith, I think it's things you should look out for. Say, and you need to be very honest with yourself to say that, see, I think I didn't do very well here. It's something I can plan for next year. The third one is your relationships. Yeah, you have friendship, just normal friend relationship, and then you have romantic relationships, right? As a rule of thumb, you should have multiple romantic relationships. Just one, right? So how did you treat your partner, right? Would you treat your partner? Do you treat your partner the same way you treated yourself? Do you give your partner grace? Your friendships. How often do you reach out to people that you've probably not heard from? Did you even leave your house to even visit some people, right? To even have quality conversations as friends? And I think those things are very important. I tried specifically to do that, right? Just going to leave my house sometimes, reach out to this, reach out to that, have conversations, deep conversations. Well, if you talk to boys, most of the time you talk about money. So yeah, it's part of the conversation. Because you like much more conversation. Say you're going to do your masters, you're going to get this exam done, you're going to get this certification done, or you want to do this business and all of that. Very, very qualitative conversations. Did you have that? If not, if your work is remote and then you're always home morning till night and you never see anything wrong with it, well, maybe you should try stepping out and touch grass, right? Speak with people around, have good relationships, right? Because in the end, right, relationships, they're everything. Then the third one is your career, right? I know this one is a major one for everyone. How am I doing in my career? Hey, am I even racking certifications, especially for some of us in tech? It's that, am I knowing more tools? Do I understand the fundamental concepts of what I'm building, right? How many certifications have I done this year? Did I even attempt to do anyone, right? What are the things that are very, very much needed in my field? Did I accomplish that, or how many percentage of that do I even know, right? So yeah, if you're also doing 9 to 5, you're looking at promotion. What are the things I need to improve on to merit the next level, right? If you're at the point where you can mentor people, do you actively mentor people? Do you actively give insights from your wealth of knowledge? People want to learn from you, irrespective of who you are, right? And that's one of the things I'm trying to do, right? I taught Python this year. Very, 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 very wonderful stuff, right? I didn't get one kobo from it, but it was very, very rewarding for me personally, right? I'm currently teaching data engineering to people, and it's something that's common. It's just to impact knowledge, the things I've learned. And even while I teach people, I tend to learn more because I try to teach tools that are in vogue. Even if I've not used it, I try to, because I understand the fundamental concept behind it, right? So take your career very seriously moving into 2026, because for a lot of us, that's where money flows through. That's where money flows from, right? And the more you can increase your career, the more you can increase your knowledge, the more you can take those certifications, the more the potential of you earning high, right? The next one is now your health. As young people, we do not really take our health seriously, right? But the water we eat, the water we drink, the food we eat, the time we sleep, the time we wake up, and all of that. I think I kind of got a bit down some couple of weeks back, and I was telling some of my friends, and the question most of my friends were asking me was, when did you rest? And to be very honest, it's something I have to work on, right? And it's something most of us have to work on. You're purchasing the next big thing, you're purchasing the next bag, and then you're just working. Our health is very important. The water you drink is very, very important. I try to pay attention to that these days. It's very, very important. Well, I can't still boast of the things I eat, but yeah, it is very important, because that's what goes into your body. That's what forms your physique. How many steps do you even walk? Go to the gym, try to push something. You're pushing something off of muscles, really, it's just for you to be fit, right? And then raise your heart rate, try to do some push-ups. If you wake up, if you do 10 push-ups in the morning or 20, and then you want to sleep, you do about 10, you're just going to be fine, and it's not going to be much of a hassle, right? So please take your health seriously. And if you fall sick, please don't self-medicate. Go to a pharmacy, right? Go to a pharmacy and let them give you the drug that you're going to use, right? And so the final thing is a compendium of all of these things. Now, when you look through all of these things, you now want to pull out what your habits were in 2025. When did you wake up? What were the things you're likely to do? How often did you press phone? Because that's one of the things that's going to destroy people's life. We are so addicted to our gadgets. We even forget to do the things that we are meant to do, right? What were the things that became who you were in 2025, right? And when YouTube Raps does their stuff, they call some people philosopher, they call some people self-improving and all of that. So what theme can you give 2025, right? For some, it could be growth. For some, it could be that you were lackadaisical. It's not bad for you to recognize that you're lackadaisical. The major thing is that you recognize that you're lackadaisical, and because you recognize it, you can work on it. So I think if you look at these 5 areas of your life, and then you summarize it into the habits that you formed over. Of course, this year will be a past year by next year, so that's what I'm referring to as a past year. Then you can see who you were. And finally, right, the tool I was talking about is something called Year Compass. It summarizes, it gives you like a very good overview of your year, right? So see it in different pages. I've been using it since 2019, 2020. I think I have the one for 2023, 2024 here. I try to like print it out, I feel it, it and all of that. I think it will help you. I will link it in the description. I don't know them. This is not a promotion, but it's a tool that have really helped me over the years. So if you have that for like 10 years, you can really measure how your life has grown from. Because I was looking at the one for 2019 and I was laughing at some of the things that were there. But again, it just shows growth. So hey, do not go into 2026 without reviewing your 2025, because the habits that you deployed in 2025 is what you're going to carry into 2026. If you do not review it and say deliberately I have to cut this, and in 2026 we would be discussing about plan for 2026. Yeah, see you in the next video. Yeah.